it's Charli Wall here from iamcharliewall.com. I am coming to you just to talk a little bit about habits, and what I mean by habits is if you're struggling with eating foods that you don't particularly want to eat, or drinking alcohol that you don't particularly want to drink, or you feel like you want to drink at the time and then afterwards you're beating yourself up about drinking. Habits also include shopping, online shopping, gambling, sex, courses. I hear quite a lot from people who struggle with any one of those things, or more than one of those things. I think especially as we're coming up to Christmas and these Christmas holidays, people have a sense of this time of year being quite stressful, being quite difficult. I know in my own experience, certainly having lost quite a few loved ones, this time of year has, for me, been a time where I've thought more about those loved ones, and then subsequently, as a result, gone to my habits of behaviour, which in the past have been many different habits of behaviour. One of those actually was being angry with the world, and being angry at my circumstances because it all felt like it was completely out of my control, which in a lot of cases it was. But I certainly had an addiction to being angry and acting out, and one of the ways that I would kind of manage that is to drink alcohol or eat foods that I didn't particularly want to eat after the fact. What I just wanted to touch on here was to firstly let you know that you're not alone. That's the first thing, because I speak to many people in the course of my working day. I have a free Facebook group for women only called She Connects, which you can find if you go to Facebook and search that. It's also in the various links that I'll attach to this video. So that's the first thing I want you to know, that you're not alone. And the second thing I want you to know is that often when we have a habit of behaviour, it's always because we're looking for peace of mind in some way, and we're just innocently looking in the wrong place. So when we kind of get in our head and we have a lot of thinking, a lot of busyness, a lot of self-concern about the way we think we look or the way we think we should behave, either at work or with our friends or at Christmas parties or with families, we just kind of get caught up in a lot of heaviness, and it weighs us down. And when we get caught up in a busy mind, in heavy thinking, in self-concern, we go to something which in the past our lower brain has remembered that has made us feel better. So it's very innocent, but in a lot of cases your lower brain will have remembered that you ate a packet of biscuits, or you drank a bottle of wine, or you went online shopping, or you gambled or something, you know, like whatever your thing is, your lower brain will have remembered that. And so a thought will come in, whether you're aware of it or not. Sometimes I think these thoughts can be unconscious, and it will just come in like biscuits or wine, or just go online and have a look at this shop. And of course we're bombarded, I think all the time, but maybe more so at this time of year, I'm not sure, but it feels like we're bombarded all the time, even if you're just checking emails with adverts and stuff like this online. So everywhere you go, if you've got a habit like that, it's very difficult to get away from it. But your little machine-like brain, which is essentially what it is, will come along and go, just do that thing, just eat that biscuit, it will be okay, just drink that glass of wine, it will be okay. And then we do it. We're doing the best we can, of course, 100% of the time. We're always doing the best we can with the thinking that makes sense to us in the moment. And so we'll just make that decision in a moment, and then we just beat ourselves up all the time afterwards. And so we're kind of perpetually living in a state of mind which is unnatural to us. And we are, of course, looking for peace from that. So we innocently look to add on to our experience. By adding on, I mean, adding on. So you go to eat the food, or you go to drink the wine, or you go online to go shopping, or you might go into town specifically to go shopping. And what I want you to see or get a feel for is that underneath all that, underneath kind of all that busyness, is always your peace of mind. So when we say we don't feel like ourselves, we intuitively know on some level that we're just away from home base. And so, of course, if with that level of understanding, what makes sense to us in the moment is to do the things which have kind of made us feel better, even though in the long run they don't make us feel better. They actually take us more away from our peace of mind or our innate well-being. But it's just those moments. So it's a misunderstanding of how we get into a heaviness around our thinking, a heaviness around our weight, a heaviness around our body, a heaviness around self-concern about who we think we are in this world. And so because of that misunderstanding, we kind of do certain behaviours and certain habits which make sense to us in the moment, but actually after the fact, we have a lot of thinking, and we make it mean something about us. We make it mean we're not good enough. We make it mean we're not worthy. We make it mean that we're not deserving of self-compassion, self-love, a gentleness to ourselves. And so we just sort of perpetuate this cycle very innocently. And I hear this a lot. I hear, I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day, and I don't know how to get out of it, and I know what to do, I know what I should be doing, but I'm not doing it. I hear all those kinds of things a lot. So if you're saying those things to yourself, or you're feeling really stuck, please get in touch with me. I'm creating a course around explaining this understanding that I teach, explaining how neuroscience kind of works to rewire our brain in making our experience of life an easier one full of more joy, one of less self-concern about how you think you look. I'd like to invite you to get in touch with me and have a call with me about what's going on for you, and to see if my new course, which will start in the new year, is right for you. I'd love to hear from you. I love talking to people, and so I've got a few spaces left just before my Christmas break. So if you'd like to talk to me, or if you're listening to this after the fact, get in touch with me anyway. I'll put the links in the comments, but if any of this resonates with you, please comment as well, because I'd love to hear where you struggle, where you think you've got a habit of behaviour, and let's see if we can maybe make 2020 a different type of year for you, one with more peace, one with more joy, and one with less self-concern about how you think you are in the world, how you think you look in the world, how you show up in the world. Because I love talking about this stuff, and I'd love to connect with you. So if you've got any questions, just post them below, and hopefully I'll get to talk to you very soon. Take care.